Good morning, friends. It is Wednesday morning. We are in the middle of the week. And better than that, just a day closer to college start of the college football season. Yeah, we got games tomorrow. We'll go over those. Unfortunately, none on TV. Well, most of them are on ESPN Plus, if not all of them. But we'll go over that. Sun Belt Preview Conference, our last conference to preview, plus a couple of independents. Last conference preview before the season starts. Next time we'll be doing this next July or August. All right, so we got a lot of news to get to. Let's get to that. But before we start, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. Here we go. Hey, after Lane Kiffin left Ole Miss for LSU, Ole Miss had the FBI sweep the football office for bugs and recording devices. All righty then. Tennessee, they named true freshman Fazian Blendon their starting quarterback. Florida names Georgia Tech transfer Aaron Philo their starting quarterback. Arkansas names KJ Johnson their starting quarterback. Alabama names Kaleon Russell their starting quarterback. Northwestern names Michigan State transfer Aiden Childs their starting quarterback. Oregon State, they name Mercer transfer Braden Atkinson as their new starting quarterback. And that's all the starting quarterbacks I got so far. Okay, so this whole NFL players coming back and playing for college started getting a little bit momentum, but now, I know LSU is one of the guy from, what's his name from the Browns? Daquan Wright planning on going to LSU and some others. Some of these conferences, they are coming down hard on this. We've got some things, you may have seen this, but too much to write, so I snapshotted it so I could read. Okay, so Big Ten ADs, the Big Ten ADs unanimously approved a new rule banning NFL players from returning to college football. It says, what else does it say? And there's going to be a vote to establish this, a conference rule, pretty soon. So we'll see what happens there. The SEC now, they're originally saying, hey, we're going to have to ban this. If anybody does it, we might fine them some money. Well, now they passed the rule. An SEC institution is not permitted to have an athlete on its roster who has, number one, previously declared for the NFL, NBA, or WNBA draft and did not appropriately withdraw, signed a contract with an NFL or other professional league, NBA, G League, or WNBA affiliate team, all that, been listed on an NFL or other professional football league, NBA, G League, or WNBA affiliated roster. The commissioner is authorized to enforce this expectation with penalties against member institutions. I remember they were talking about a few days ago fining schools like big time for doing this. Let's see, what else does it say here? College athletes, not former professional athletes, have been at the heart of the Southeastern Conference. Individuals who choose to leave college and athletics, sign professional playing contracts, and compete professionally should not then be permitted to return to collegiate competition. Allowing that to occur will blur the line between college and professional sports like it hasn't already been blurred with NIL and all that crap. Great significant competitive equity concerns and reduce opportunities for high school and current college athletes. College sports are for college athletes. The current confusion around national eligibility standards emphasizes they need to advance the Protect College Sports Act. Big 12 said something about they were having meetings about it, what they're going to do about it. I know the ACC are having meetings today about how they're going to handle all this. So looks like this whole fifth year of eligibility, players not making NFL rosters, wanting to come back to college, looks like in some of these conferences it's just not going to happen. So stay tuned. More is going to come out on this kind of stuff probably the next week or so. All right, so Sun Belt Conference preview. We start off with the James Madison Dukes. Got their helmet right back here. 12-2, 8-0 last year. Beat Troy in the Sun Belt Championship. Lost to Oregon in the CFP first round. 1 on offense, 2 on defense. Kicker and the punter coming back in terms of starters. They say 4 quarterbacks battled in spring football. Evans, Coleman, Maiden, and Belfort. There was no clear front runner. Whoever it is, they will have some good wide receivers. They got a good wide receiving core coming back. Defense should be good, but the secondary are all new and don't know each other. So they're going to have to gel pretty quick. Non-conference includes Liberty, Wagner, San Diego State, and UConn. Troy Trojans, 8-6, 6-2 last year. Started off 1-2, not too good, but ripped off the next 5 in wins. Lost to James Madison in the Sun Belt. Lost to Jacksonville State in the Salute to Veterans Bowl. Last conference title, 2023. They got 3 offensive starters coming back, 1 defensive starter, and a punter. Have a great quarterback, Goose Chowder, if he can stay healthy. Missed 14 games in the last 2 seasons because of injuries. Defense had to replace most of their starters. Secondary took a major hit. That's what they're saying. Non-conference includes Sam Houston, Alabama State, Missouri, and Utah State. Georgia Southern Eagles, 7-6, 4-4. No consistency at all with them last season. Lost 2, won 2, lost 1, won 1. It was just back and forth with them. Beat Appalachian State in the Birmingham Bowl, though, so they ended the season on a high note. Last conference title, 2014. Returning starters, 3 on offense, a kicker and a punter. Quarterback Max Johnson travels from UNC. Yes, that Max Johnson, who was at LSU and Texas A&M, which at LSU he looked pretty damn good. He came to A&M, and I had high hopes for him. He looked okay. But yeah, guy keeps traveling around the country. Defense last year gave up on average 32 points a game. They do have some veterans returning. The secondary looks to be pretty strong, but other than that, they're going to need some help all over. Non-conference, Charleston Southern, Clemson, Jacksonville State, and Houston. So not an easy non-conference slate. Marshall, Thundering Herd, 5-7, 3-5. Inconsistent last year also. Lost 2, won 2, went 1-4 to close the season. Last conference title, 2024. But they do have 6 offensive starters coming back. Only 3 on defense coming back. But offensive weapons return. Quarterback Carlos Del Rio Wilson, he can pass and run. And he's got a good group of wide receivers to work with. So things on offense for Marshall could look pretty good this year. Had to replace a lot of defense, though. A lot of guys left. They had to bring in a lot of ones. But they do return their sack leader, defensive end Brandon Ward. Non-conference includes Penn State, Middle Tennessee, Missouri State, and Gardner-Webb. Louisiana Raging Cajuns, they're a great team under Billy Napier. He left, and they've kind of fallen down. 6-7, 5-3 last year. They did end the season on a 4-game win streak, so that was pretty good for them. But they did lose to Delaware in the 68 Ventures Bowl. Last conference title, 2021. 7 offensive starters returning. Sounds good, right? But only 2 on defense, and then the kicker's coming back. Winfield, he returns at quarterback, but lost his top 2 rushers behind him, Davis and Perry. 2 good tight ends returned for them. Defense has to replace 3 of the 4 top tacklers from last year, which is never good. Their non-conference includes Lamar, who was a playoff team last year in FCS, USC, UAB, and Charlotte. Arkansas State Red Wolves, 7-6, 5-3, went on a 4-game losing streak, then won 4 in a row last year. Beat Missouri State in the Xbox Bowl, last conference title 2016. 5 on offense coming back, 3 on defense, and the kicker. Top wide receivers Cobb and Summers are back. But quarterback, who's going to be the quarterback? Who's going to throw to these guys? Defense, not a whole lot of experience on the front 7. And for some reason, I did not write their non-conference down, but I don't know. Oh, well. Those things happen. Old Dominion. Man, remember Old Dominion last year? They looked pretty damn good. 10-3, 6-2 is where they ended. Heck of a season. 4 and 5 game win streaks they went on. Beat South Florida in the Cure Bowl. Never won a conference title. Now the bad news. one offensive starter coming back, 4 on defense, kicker and the punter. They lost their quarterback to Wisconsin, unfortunately, and basically have to rebuild the entire offense. So 10-win season again this year may not happen. Defense, though, does return a bunch of players with some good experience, so that could help them out. Non-conference includes Norfolk State, Virginia Tech, Eastern Carolina, and UConn. Louisiana Tech Bulldogs, they kind of fell off a little bit, but they're kind of slowly starting to come back. 8-5, 5-3 last year. They're 4-1 at one point in the season last year. Beat Coastal Carolina in the Independence Bowl. Last conference title, 2019 in the WAC conference. 4 offensive starters coming back. 2 defensive starters coming back, and the kicker. Offense should be good if the revamped backfield, they had to replace them, can produce some yardage and touchdowns. Defense, lots of experience, especially in the front 7 with the transfers and things they brought in. Non-conference, Northwestern State, LSU, Baylor, and Army. Does not get easier for them. Well, maybe Baylor, they could get a win because Baylor just isn't Baylor anymore. Coastal Carolina, I've never known how to say their name. Was it Chanticleers? Is that how you say it? Chanticleers? Who was a damn good football team, but they've kind of fallen off. 6-7, 5-3 last year. They started off 2-3, then won 4 in a row, but lost their last 3. Lost to Louisiana Tech in the Independence Bowl. Last conference title, 2020. 1 on offense, 4 on defense, and the punter coming back. They say no clear-cut quarterback as of spring. They'll decide that right now. But running back and wide receiver groups look good. Defensive linebackers will be the strength, and pass rushing should be much improved. Non-conference includes West Virginia, Fordham, Delaware, and Liberty. Southern Miss Golden Eagles, 7-6, 5-3. Started off 2-2, then they knocked off 5 straight, won 5 straight. But lost the last 3 games. So lost to Western Kentucky in the New Orleans Bowl. Last conference title, 2011 in Conference USA. 1 offensive starter coming back, and the kicker and the punter. That is it for them. Quarterback Ethan Hampton transferred in from Illinois. That might help them out. They said the wide receivers did look good in spring, and it's looking good in fall. Offensive line, though, probably going to be an issue for Southern Miss. Defense backfield, secondary, looks great, but the rest of the defense is questionable. Non-conference includes Alcorn State, Auburn, UConn, and Tulane. Appalachian State Mountaineers, who once kings of the football, what do you call them, group of 5, they've fallen off the map the last few years. 5-8, 2-6. They were 4-2. They had started great last year. 4-2, then they lost 4 in a row. Lost to Birmingham Bowl, the Georgia Southern, last conference title, 2019. Only 2 offensive starters, 3 defensive starters coming back. Quarterbacks Swan and Cole are gone, so who's going to be their quarterback? Offensive line has experience. Wide receivers, pretty good wide receiver group there. They're going to need somebody to throw to them, evidently. Defensive. They return starters on all 3 units, but they need to create more turnovers than they have the last couple of years. Non-conference includes Maine, Eastern Carolina, Charlotte, and North Carolina State. South Alabama Jaguars, 4-8, 3-5. Won the first game, started off great, and then lost the next 6. Never won a conference title. 2 offensive starters coming back, 3 defensive starters coming back, plus the punter. Quarterback Bisham Davenport is back, but was challenged in the spring by Jared Hollins, they are saying. Defense was throttled by the transfer portal. 2 of their top players, Dozier and Jackson, are still recovering from season-ending injuries. Just things don't look good for South Alabama this year. Non-conference, Southeast Louisiana, Tulane, Ohio, and Kentucky. So not an easy non-conference schedule. Georgia State Panthers. The only way is up, right? Only way is up because they were 1-11, 0-8 last year. Won the 3rd game, though. They won that 3rd game, beat Murray State. Lost to James Madison, damn good team, and South Alabama by a touchdown. So things could have been a little bit better for them last year, but it didn't happen. No conference titles for them. 3 offensive starters coming back, 2 defensive starters coming back. The 3 starters on offense are all on the offensive line, so that's a little bit of good news. Quarterback Cameron Brown does have playing time, so he has played other places. Defense, top 4 tacklers are gone. Got to replace those guys. Secondary, they're going to need more interceptions this coming season. They only had 3 last year. That's crazy. Non-conference, North Carolina A&T, Kennesaw State, Central Florida, and Northern Illinois. And then Louisiana Monroe Warhawks. 3-9, 1-7 last year. They started off 3-1, lost the rest. That was it. First 3, I guess they were exhausted. They were only competitive. Of those losses, they were only competitive in the loss against Louisiana Raging Cajuns, where they lost by 3 points. Last conference title, 2005. That was 2 years before they went into Tuscaloosa and beat a Nick Saban Alabama team in his first year. Last bowl, 2012. 3 offensive starters coming back, 1 on defense. The punters coming back. There was a 3-way quarterback battle in the spring that's continued in the fall camp. Still trying to figure that out. O-line is questionable, as is their defensive line. So they've got problems everywhere, apparently. And non-conference isn't going to help. Mississippi State, UAB, Southeast Louisiana, Florida Atlantic. They could go 2-2 there, but with some of the issues they got, that may not happen. So sorry, Warhawk fans. And we only got 2 independents now. Notre Dame, Fighting Irish, and the Yukon Huskies. So there we go. Last year, Notre Dame, 10-2. Started 0-2. Remember that? Lost to Miami by 3 and Texas A&M by 1. And people are like, oh, man, that's it for Notre Dame. Well, they come back and won the next 8. 6 offensive returning starters, 8 on defense. Not bad. That's why people are talking about Notre Dame this year. Quarterback C.J. Carr returns, as does a seasoned offensive line and a good wide receiver group. Backfield is suspect. 3 freshmen back there, but hey, you never know. Most of that great defense that they have returns, as you can see, especially the secondary, who had 21 interceptions last year. Big ones. Wisconsin. I put Wisconsin down because Wisconsin might be a different team. They got some players in, got a decent quarterback in there, so that could be a very big game. Plus, I think they're playing it in Lambeau Field this year. Michigan State. Pat Fitzgerald takes that over, so they've got to be better than they have been. BYU, who's good. Navy's coming back. Miami, who we know is damn good. Boston College is pretty much a rival for them. And then SMU. So they got some big ones this year on their schedule. And the Connecticut Huskies, 9-4 last year. Went on 2 4-game win streaks. Lost to Army in the Fenway Bowl. Last conference title, 2010 in the Big East. 1 returning starter on offense. The right tackle, Ty Chase. He's the only starter coming back. More new players than returning players on the roster. They brought in a buttload this year. Head coach Jason Candle did bring some good players in from Toledo. So we will see. And when I looked at their schedule, I was like, well, it's not too many big ones on here. So we didn't put that down. All right, so like I said, it is game week. Things actually start tomorrow. FCS, you got a bunch of FCS games. However, there's 22 FCS games tomorrow, but you got to pay to see them. ESPN Plus, which I was like, really? I mean, ESPN, you can't grab one and put it on to start the football season. But, you know, ESPN, Disney, thank God you got to get all the money in the world. So, yeah, 22 FCS games, majority on the ESPN Plus. I think, I want to say just one on some other thing. Like, what was that Freeform or Free Flow TV or something like that? There might be one on there, but anyway. Friday, 6 FCS games, majority on ESPN Plus, but 9 o'clock on ESPN. Idaho versus Cal Poly. There you go, something to get you started. What else? Oh, Fairmont and Dayton that one's going to be on YouTube. So there you go, YouTube. Saturday, you got 41 FCS games. Most of them are on ESPN Plus. Let's see what we got here. Except you do have on Saturday Southern versus Alabama State. That's going to be at 2 on ESPNU. East Texas A&M versus Mercer. That'll be at 6 p.m. on ESPN. Alabama A&M versus Howard. That'll be at 6:30 on ABC. And then Prairie View A&M versus Tarleton State. That will be 8 p.m. on ESPN2. Now, FBS. Here's your lineup for Saturday. Has a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games to start the first Saturday. But there are some decent ones here. 11 a.m. ESPN, North Carolina versus TCU. We're going to see if Bill Belichick has turned this thing around. I hate when they play games like this in Ireland and stuff. It's like, man, bring it back home. Give these teams some home games. I mean, I don't know. I think it's dumb, but some people like it, I guess. 2 p.m. on NBC, San Jose State versus number 14, USC. This is one I'm looking forward to. 2:30 ESPN, ACC game, North Carolina State versus Virginia. Was going to be played in Brazil. Thank God that didn't work out, and they moved it back to Charlottesville. So I'm looking forward to that one. Another interesting one, 4:30 on CBS Sports Network. Jacksonville State, who's a good team, versus North Dakota State, their first year in FBS. So we'll see how that works out for them. 5:30 on ESPN Plus, Sacramento State versus Eastern Michigan. 6 p.m. on the ACC Network. Looks like a not too bad of one here. Hawaii comes to the mainland, plays Stanford. 6 p.m. on the CW, New Mexico State versus Florida State. Boy, Florida State lost this game. There might be firings across the board. I don't think New Mexico State will beat them, but I mean, you never know. I mean, what kind of mindset is Florida State in? New Mexico State has nothing to lose. I mean, wouldn't they love to go to Tallahassee and get a win? So keep an eye on that one if you don't watch it. And then 9 p.m. on Fox, Memphis going to Las Vegas to play UNLV. There you go. You got late game there. Probably going to end up about midnight or 1 a.m., depending on where you live, to kick off this first weekend of college football. So there you go. That's it. Wednesday, man, middle of the week. We're almost there. We're almost there. But hey, college football starts this weekend. We'll be back Sunday, probably more than likely Sunday, maybe Monday, to review crazy things that have happened, news, and all that kind of stuff. We'll go over the first Saturday, well, Friday and Thursday too, if something crazy happens in college football. Anyway, stay busy. Man, I hope you're staying cool. Down here in Southeast Texas, we're still in 100-degree temperatures. Have fun this weekend. Be safe. Watch some football. We will see you back more than likely on Sunday.